All right.
Hey, my name's Jawnhto. And this is an in-depth look.
Okay. So everything is swell. All right. So new Void DH. Actually, Demon Hunters gets a fourth specialization. It is called Void Demon Hunter. It is a caster, which is really interesting, and well, let's discover it together. I'm actually pretty like, it's not my class, so I do not care, but like I actually care because for Spec, like really Blizzard was really inspired to offer like a new type of gameplay for Demon Hunter, and they actually went over like their own like well, kind of like set of like rules, which is really interesting because, well, I don't know. Let's check it out.
Look at Devourer. World of Warcraft. Hey, my name's Jawnhto, and this is an in-depth look at Devourer. World of Warcraft Midnight is coming early 2026. With it comes a brand new third spec for Demon Hunters called Devourer, along with a new race option for Demon Hunters, Void Elves. The Devourer Demon Hunter is a new mid-range DPS spec focusing on Void and Cosmic damage. It uses a hybrid playstyle with both ranged and melee abilities, making it feel familiar but also a breath of fresh air at the same time. WoW has never had a DPS spec like this before. If you've always dreamt of embracing the Void, practicing the dark cosmic arts, and, well, shooting a massive blue laser beam from your face, you're gonna love Devourer. So, how does it work?
So this reminds me of actually the fight against the 3 Demon Hunters in the last raid, Mana Forge Omega, which is actually, there is like this. So I guess if you want some more ideas of if you don't play the beta, the PTR, right? If you don't go on the PTR. If you want an idea, well, the Demon Hunter encounter that you get in the Mana Forge actually can encompass some of the gameplay that you're about as a Demon Hunter to be able to experience. So yeah, quite interesting.
Devourer gameplay revolves around 2 resources, Fury and Soul Friend. You're probably wondering how we got here, and that's a fair question. Let me see if I can explain how Demon Hunters have become Devourers in under 1 minute. Then we can get back to the nerdy stuff and I'll teach you how to play it.
Okay, this is really cool that like they added lore to that. This is a small touch, but like for like players like me and for many, like this is a small touch that is appreciated.
In the War Within's final major patch, we travel to Koresh, the homeworld of the Ethereals, where we run into an Illidari demon hunter named Adaris Duskblaze.
I've sacrificed everything.
Adaris developed a bit of an interest in the cosmic powers of the Void and befriended a Void Elf named Leona Darkstrider, along with her leader, Magister Umbric, in hopes of learning a thing or two. The agreement was that Adaris would teach the Void Elves the secret of the Illidari, allowing them to become future demon hunters, and in return, they'd teach Adaris to wield the powers of the Void. Now, fast forward a bit, and Adaris attempts to absorb
Okay, this is really cool.
a Koreshi Void fragment. What could possibly go wrong? Instead of letting the Void flow through him, Adaris tries to control it, and of course, the ritual backfired. The cave starts to collapse, Adaris is going berserk, and you, the player character, have no choice but to punt Adaris into the portal that he opened, and disaster is prevented. The next time we see our buddy Adaris is the Soul Hunters encounter in the Mana Forge Omega raid, where we get our first taste of Void-themed Demon Hunter attacks, giving players not so subtle hints towards the upcoming new third spec.
Actually, what I was talking about. Sometimes, you know, like you play the game and you know what's going on. It really happens like once every fucking once every 1,000 full moons, but like sometimes it happens, right?
All right, where was I? Devourer gameplay revolves around entering Void Metamorphosis to cast
That was really a good explanation, though. Like, good on him. Like, he really fucking did a good job. Sometimes, like, it's really stupid, but like, really thankful that like he explained this little bit of lore.
Where was I? Devourer gameplay revolves around entering Void Metamorphosis to cast Collapsing Star while managing two resources, Fury and Soul Fragments. Soul Fragments are what allow you to enter meta and cast Collapsing Star, while Fury is what dictates how long you're able to stay in meta form. To enter Void Metamorphosis, we need to collect Soul Fragments. If we take the talent Soul Glutton, we'll require less Soul Fragments to enter Void meta, but our Fury will drain faster, meaning we spend less time in meta, but enter it more often. If we take Emptiness, we gain lots of haste, meaning our casts are faster, more frequent, and we can stay in meta for a longer period of time because we're generating more Fury.
But this is interesting because like this is like a gameplay loop that actually does not exist in World of Warcraft, because you actually are bound, your gameplay is bound to collecting resources on the surrounding you, which is actually really interesting when it comes to like gameplay variety and just gameplay in general, because like from what I've seen, like it's the only spec that actually requires you to wander around collecting a resource. So this is cool. This is cool. Not my thing. It's not my style of gameplay. I absolutely will hate to actually play like that. But I think that like this is actually really interesting when it comes to gameplay wise. And plus it's a 4 spec, so it's not like, it is not, because like if it was a 3rd spec, maybe it will have been like I will have like I have more reaction. But like 4 spec, like unique gameplay, that is like something that that I do not see as interesting at all. Like it doesn't matter as much, you know. So I am.
So how do we generate Soul Fragments? The most straightforward way is the ability called Consume. This spell generates both Soul Fragments and Fury, and can be cast while moving. Cool, right? We wouldn't be Demon Hunters without having speedy movement capabilities. As you use Consume, you'll notice all of those Soul Fragments landing on the ground in front of you. You can
I wonder how it will look in PvP though. Like in arena and PvP, this will be like an interesting like way to actually like I want to see other demon hunters, you know, like
can run around to pick them up. You totally have that freedom. But even better, you can use the ability called Reap, which will automatically collect Soul Fragments off the ground when you use it. So you're casting Consume, using Reap to collect Soul Fragments, and all the while you're generating Fury. Once you get enough Fury, you'll be able to use one of the coolest abilities we have, Void Ray. By the way, the Void Ray ability icon has a man on it, so obviously we call him Raymond. Well, that's what I call him at least. Void Ray uses all of your Fury to shoot a huge voidy frontal beam just like Havoc's eye beam, and turns the mobs into Soul Fragment pinatas. So far what I've described has played like a pure spellcasting spec, but now we can start to weave in the additional melee combo mechanics. Devourer has a 3 ability combo that can be added in to bring the mid-range hybrid playstyle to life. Voidblade is a single target ability that can be juiced up with talents and pulls you right into melee range. After Voidblade is used, that ability turns into a new ability called Hungering Slash, which is a big 360-degree AoE slash and grants you a free use of Vengeful Retreat, the final step in the combo, to vault you back out from melee range to continue casting. The Hunt can also be used in place of Voidblade to start the sequence. Yeah, that's right. Devourer has their own step in the Voidblade.
You can see that you can see that like the dude was actually in PTR, because like there are like random players. Like the dude actually like didn't wait it like until people left. I mean, I get it. It's just funny that like on a you know, it's kind of like the behind the scene. You will think that like they actually like fucking like do it on a GM place, you know, like on or something. And actually no, like the dude went on PTR like everyone else and did the fucking testing like everyone else, and actually did the guide like anyone else could, but for Blizzard. Like it's just the behind the scene that I like, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Devourer has their own Void version of the Hunt. So the sequence is Voidblade or the Hunt into Hungering Slash into Vengeful Retreat. At this point, you'll have enough soul fragments to enter void meta, like we talked about earlier. Once you enter meta, you're racing against the clock as your fury begins to drain faster and faster. The longer you stay in meta, the faster that bar starts to empty. Once it reaches 0, you fall out of meta form and start the process again. Your number one goal inside of meta is to cast Collapsing Star. After entering meta, you now need to collect enough soul fragments each time you want to cast Collapsing Star. Now this is where things get a little insane. Each consecutive Collapsing Star used while in void meta increases its damage every time. So play your cards right, generate enough soul fragments, and you'll be obliterating everything in sight with Collapsing Star. Generating soul fragments is done the exact same way that you did outside of Metamorphosis. The only difference is now all of your abilities have transformed into their supercharged versions and do extra damage. Now, instead of Void Ray requiring Fury to use, it's on a cooldown and actually pauses your Fury drain, helping you stay in meta form longer. So that's your basic gameplay loop for Devourer. Generate soul fragments,
This is cool.
enter
This
void
is
meta,
cool.
cast as many collapsing stars as you can. Rinse and repeat.
So it looks like kind of like simple or not, right? But like what's important to remember is that actually like there's a lot of like moving that is like movement that is involved in into this gameplay loop. And because of that, I think it's really interesting, like lots of movement and different type of movement, because like there's like some void hunter, like cast as a caster, like movement is not the same as a melee. So this is really interesting. Congrats to you, the Demon Hunters. You got the 4 spec because Blizzard got inspired, and sometimes you get inspired to even like to undergo like to go like kind of like the a way that like you wouldn't expect, because like before that it was what it was yeah, there was like on Druid, right? Like there were like others, but like it was basically because of like double talent trees that could be used, right? Like here it's like really cool, like god damn. WoW is just like making more and more like good decisions, I think, you know.
Now let's take a look at Devourer's 2 hero talent tree options. First, let's dig into the newly renamed Void Scarred talent tree. These talents revolve around enhancing your melee combat by incorporating void surges, deadly explosions that happen around your character while executing your melee combo. This tree also encourages frequent void meta by providing you with bonuses upon entry. This is where that Spec tree capstone talent, Soul Glutton, really shines by reducing the soul fragment cost of void meta and allows you to enter meta much more often. Now, the other hero talent tree option is Annihilator. This tree focuses on empowering Reap and Collapsing Star. You'll be calling down Voidfall meteors from the sky to do massive AoE damage, as well as put on an impressive light show for your friends. Annihilator encourages you to focus on longer metamorphosis uptime and goes hand in hand with Emptiness. Then to bring it all together, we have Apex talents, which are new in the Midnight expansion. These talents enhance your Collapsing Star even further by guaranteeing that they crit, increasing the damage that those crits do, and automatically giving you a cost-free use of Collapsing Star every time you enter meta. If you like this video, you can find more of my content at youtube.com/JahdthTV. Link will be down in the description. I hope you enjoy Devourer and everything that has to offer.
And I did enjoy your thank you, Jahdth, for this guide. Like this was awesome.